everyone, I'm Mrs. Charles with I Spy Science and Wired for Science. Today I'm showing you how to make beautiful crystals. With this recipe you can make a large crystal or several smaller crystals. The materials that you need to make some crystals are a mason jar, a large one, and I have a small one too if you would rather use that size. You need a 4-cup measuring cup, or you can use a smaller one and do it 4 times if you use a 1-cup one. We have fishing line, wire, or string. You really only need to use one of those. You can decide which would better suit your needs. We have a craft stick and a pencil. So we also need plastic wrap, a pair of scissors. The food coloring is optional. You can use a cookie cutter if you want to make a shape, pipe cleaners, and paper towels. And the most important ingredient is borax, and this is what the container looks like. To do this project, you'll need an adult to help you boil the water on the stove or in the microwave. You'll need help to pour the liquid into the container because it's hot. And you'll need an adult to help you tie the knots. To start, take your pipe cleaner and shape it into a circle slightly bigger than a quarter to make a small crystal. Then you take the other pipe cleaners and the rest of this one and weave it into like this, and just weave it over and under and over and under so that you have a shape. It's going to eventually look like this. So I'll take another pipe cleaner now and add it. So now I'll weave it over and under, over and under. And it doesn't matter where you put it. You can do it into actually any shape. You need to make the weave fairly tight and not leave big holes. Your crystal will look better and more full. And then I'm going to shape it into let me add one more because this has a few holes. Okay, it's looking pretty good now, pretty full. So, all right. All right, now I'll make it into my little bowl shape so it'll look more like a geode. And there you have it. You can use colorful pipe cleaners without any food coloring, or if you decide to use a white cleaner, you can add food coloring. But you need a lot of food coloring, and I like the brightness of the colorful pipe cleaners over using the food coloring. You can make whatever shapes you'd like. You can use a cookie cutter to make a star shape. For example, this is how you do it. You just take your cookie cutter and go like this. And there you have a star shape. Now, this one will be too big, so I have to kind of smoosh it in so that it makes a smaller star shape so it will fit into my jar. It'll have to fit in and out easily because your crystal will get bigger, and then you can't get it out of the jar if it's too big. You can make heart shapes, snowflake shapes, really whatever shapes you desire. This is just like a corkscrew. You can put 2 different ones together and make, something strange like that, anything. As long as it will fit through your jar, then your crystal will come out looking pretty cool. The second thing you do is thread your fishing line or string around the edge, tie a knot. So you make the first circle and hold it tight, and then make the second one. Hold it tight. And then you want to tie the other end around the craft stick. And you may need some help with an adult to help you tie the knots. So if you hold that. Thank you. When you hang it inside the jar, the pipe cleaner shape should not touch the bottom or the sides of the jar or another pipe cleaner if you're putting more than one in your jar. I have 1.5 cups of borax in my measuring cup. I'll put it in my jar, and then you'll need to have an adult boil the 4 cups of water and pour it into the jar. I'm going to pour it almost to the top of the jar. And it's hot, so you have to have your mom or dad help you. You want to stir it quite a bit until all the borax dissolves. This will take a little while, probably at least 5 minutes. You probably should use a spoon that's got a longer handle than this so you don't burn yourself. If the water's not hot enough, the borax won't dissolve. You want to dissolve until the liquid does not look very cloudy. The crystals grow better if the water is close to boiling. You can always microwave the mixture again to reheat it, stirring until the mixture is very clear. Okay, drop your pipe cleaner shape into the mixture. Mine's floating right now. Make sure the whole pipe cleaner is covered with the solution. Then you're going to take some saran wrap and gently just wrap it so that it stays as hot as it can. Okay, let the jar sit overnight. Your crystals should be nice and full in 12 hours. Lay your crystals on paper towels to let them dry. Once they're dry, they should be strong and sound like glass if you tap them together. When you take your crystal out of the solution and it's all formed, you might need to take crystals and rub them off your string. Then you'll need to cut your string as close as you can and pull it out of the thing. Mine came out easily, but it might be stuck in a little, and then you just leave it. When you're done, you can reuse this borax liquid by reheating and adding more borax to the solution until it stops dissolving, so you know you have enough. You should add about 4 tablespoons of borax to a cup of water. Then add more pipe cleaners to make your new crystals. I used my solution over and over. When you're totally done, you can put this leftover borax solution right into a laundry load. You can also rinse it down the drain. You'll notice that crystals will form on the sides of the jar and the bottom. Now, to dissolve that, you just stick the jar with hot water in it and microwave it for about 5 minutes, maybe less, and you'll need to get help from an adult to do that. Your crystals will dissolve and your jar will be as crystal clear as when you began your project. To make this project into a science experiment, You could try using different amounts of borax, different shapes of pipe cleaners, and maybe try using baking soda or sugar instead of borax. Write down your results. Try to figure out how to make the best looking crystals. When I was experimenting, I figured out that when using food coloring, my crystals were pale in color, and I preferred using colored pipe cleaners. What is the science about this experiment or this project? Well, we made a borax solution. Water at room temperature can only hold or dissolve a certain amount of borax. When it's holding all it can, scientists say the solution is saturated. Heating the water causes the water molecules to spread out and move farther away from each other, making room for more borax molecules. The hot water was saturated with the borax, and borax is a soft crystal. As the solution cools and the water molecules came closer together again, it became supersaturated. This means it had more borax than it could hold, and the crystals needed to go somewhere. The pipe cleaner was a handy place for the extra borax crystals to collect. Well, I hope you enjoyed seeing how to make crystals. If you're a little bit creative, you can make all sorts of beautifully individual crystals, and they can be all sorts of colors depending on what color pipe cleaners you use. I hope this inspires you to make a lot of crystals to use as gifts for your friends and family members. Homemade gifts are appreciated for the love and time you spend making them. We always love seeing what you make, so feel free to share photos of your crystals on the library's social media, so you can inspire other kids to make their own.